Ah, come on, man. Ah. Ah. Oh, my Lanta. Hey guys, this time the Quick Speed Shop. We're working on the 80 Dodge Diplomat. I've got to try to get this thing running, but first I got to put a new fuel system in it. It's a disaster. I ordered a bunch of parts. They're here and coming. New fuel tank, sending unit, straps, fuel lines, fuel hoses. It's a lot, and we need all of it because the entire fuel system on this car is shot. So let's start working on it. Today we're working back on the 1983 Dodge Diplomat A38 police package cop car. The first step is to get under the car and see what we got for a tank right now. So here is the factory fuel tank. They go underneath the drop part of the trunk, and it's offset. See how close it is to the spring on that side, and there's room on this side because right here, here's the exhaust hanger. Your exhaust comes off the passenger side. Now some guys on the internet have put dual exhaust on these cars, and if you want to do that, it's really hard to fit it through there, but I guess you can undo the straps, move the tank over one rib, put this strap into that rib and this strap into this rib, move the tank over a little bit, and then you got room to run a tailpipe out the side. So I'm not sure if we're going to do that or not. I probably will run 2-in-1 exhausts and then just have like a 3-inch or 2.5-inch tailpipe coming out the back, probably 2.5-inch for the 318, kind of keep it stock looking, but put a performance muffler on it and stuff like that. So I don't think I need to slide the tank over, but we might just try it and do it just because we got the tank out of the car. I'm not sure how the sending unit or the filler neck works, if you can move it over that far or not, but it looks pretty straightforward. The straps are going to be kind of offset holding it up, but I also have new straps for it, and I don't know how much fuel's in it. I can't tell, and it sounds kind of hollow. The car has been sitting for 25 years, so if it had fuel in it, it could all evaporate at this time and turn into shellac, and that's why we're replacing the tank. The new one was like $98 in Rock Auto, so I don't feel bad about replacing it, and I think it'll come right out of here. Let's climb up under there. We'll take a look. I thought this car had an 8 1/4 rear end in it. It looks like it's got the 7.5-inch rear end in it, which I would think would be odd with the cop car package. It's got the 11-inch brakes, but that differential looks very tiny. Like, I think the 8 1/4 is more like an oval, and this looks like almost looks like a small Dana pattern. So I'm pretty sure this is the 7 1/4 rear end. So we're definitely getting rid of this. I'm putting an 8 3/4 sure grip rear end in it, but I would have expected 8 1/4 in all the cop cars. This is odd to me to see this little guy in here, but it is what it is. First thing we're going to do is disconnect the, what do you call it, filler neck. What does it smell like? Smells like really old gas. Oh, you know what I need? There's 3 Phillips screwdrivers to get this out. I wish I had one on bore scope. What the heck's wrong with my screwdriver? Can't see nothing. No, nothing, I guess. If I had one of those like bore scope cameras, I guess you can get them at Harbor Freight. We could look, but I don't have one, so we're just going to play a guessing game. Maybe it's full of gas and they'll come out and dump 50 gallons of gas on the ground. Wouldn't that be exciting? Well, not really exciting because I hear the furnace is running because it got cold out again. Yesterday was perfect, had the door open all day. And today it's freaking freezing. But spring's got to come at some time. It's middle April. Come on, man. There's 3 Phillips screws to hold the filler neck to this side of the car. I think it's going to come down with the tank. I'm waiting on getting a rubber grommet for the tank for the filler neck. I ordered a good one from Steel Rubber Products. It wasn't cheap, but I read the reviews online of the cheap ones, and they say the rubber all turns to garbage right away, so don't want to have that happen. So steel ones are made in America, I'm pretty sure, and they make door seals and stuff for all kinds of cars. And I bought one. It was $47, so that's coming hopefully tomorrow. So I got our screws there, got guys loose. I smell gas. So here's the filler neck, a steel neck, and it just bolts to the back of that grommet right there is what I'm talking about right here. And this tank's got some kind of fabric fabric on it. This tank is scaly too, that's why there's no sense in trying to do this. Now it looks like we got hoses in the front, we got some kind of plastic guard, and the straps bolt up into the car with like a speed nut, and it looks like I can spray some juice in there, which I should have been doing, but I didn't. So we'll see. Oops. Like I said, I got new straps, so I'm not worried about the straps breaking. This tank's got undercoating on it. Doesn't look too bad, but it's pretty scaly in the front. And I'm sure it's junk in the back. Look at the dirt line where this car was sagged into the dirt. You see? So here are the fuel lines running down this frame rail here. And you can see they are right on the edge, all rusted out real bad. So we're going to go ahead and replace all the lines. There's 3 lines. There's a 5/16 suction line, there's a 1/4 inch return line, then there's a 3/16 vapor line for the vapor canister. So we're going to cut all these lines loose and get them out of the way. There's a plastic guard here under the car between the differential and the tank, and it looks like it's got a couple of speed nuts holding it to some studs. Are they going to break? Oh, this thing doesn't feel good. Oh, hold on a minute. Oh, it's backing off. I don't believe it. I don't really know what the purpose of this is. Oh, you know what? Probably to protect the tank in a rear end collision. If it gets swatted into the rear end, it doesn't puncture the tank. Make a problem. There we go. We got a speed nut off of there. Get out of there. Now it's stuck in the ratchet. Oh boy. There we go. Yeah. Speed nut. Speed nut. Whoa. Everything is dropping rust on me. There, a little plastic jobber there. Oh, here we go. Got the sending unit wires here. Standard Mopar plug on her. Nice. Unplug that guy. I think we're just going to cut these hoses. Gas shouldn't come out of them. Ooh, that sounds crunchy. And then it's just taking these 2 bolts out. Looks like 9/16. We'll probably put the impact on them and bust them off of the impact, I would guess is going to happen. And then the tank should come right down. What did I say, 9/16? They look like 9/16. You know what we're going to do? We're going to leave the lines intact and use those to help hold the tank. I'm going to see if I can get the bolts to start backing off. I turned the furnace off, so we shouldn't burn to death. Oh, yikes. That's rusty. Ah, come on, man. Ah. Ah. Ooh, it's coming out. Oh, my Lanta. That was fun. Rusty junk. How about now? How about this one? Get on there. Ah, right in my ear. Oh my, crying in the sink. Holy shamoly. That's a spicy meatball right there. That's great. Ah, that's a lot of rust. Ow, that's a lot of rust scale. Holy cow. Ah, yuck. Whoa. Just ripped the end right off her strap. That's great. Oh, I can't believe those came out of there like that. Now, I guess cut the lines and See if it'll come out. Oh yeah, this tank would have been linking right where the straps go. It's pretty scaly. It's the vent line. Here's the front line. And the return line. Well, it feels a little heavy. We'll see. Here we go. What's going to happen? Oop, oop, oop. Actually, it doesn't. It's empty. Or close to empty. Empty or close to empty? Oh man, that pad has seen better days. There we go. Man, the thing uninstalls itself. What a mess. It's got some gas in it. Look at that. Well, it doesn't look too bad up above the tank. Trunk floor looks decent. We're going to fluid film the crap out of this. Look at all the dripping primer. They dipped these cars in primer, apparently. We're going to fluid film the crap out of it. Over there, it's got some surface rust. I'll wire wheel it, maybe spray some rust converter up there, let it dry, and then I'll fluid film it before I put the new tank in. And we'll fluid film the top of the tank as well. Here's the top of the tank. It's bare galvanized here. WPS brand. We got some original masking tape. We got to get that grommet out. I've got a new sending unit and stuff for it to go in. Man, does that look the same? Yeah, it does. Okay. This grommet, like I said, is coming here, so we can probably wrestle this guy out of here. Oh yeah, look at that. So that, see how long that is? That's how you can get away with moving the tank over. I think that pulls out enough to work. Let's try a look in the tank with the light and see what we see. Oh, there's gas in there. Old gas. I hear it. Actually, the inside of the tank doesn't look bad at all. Huh. It's grungy with a little bit of rust, but it's not what I thought it would be. Just smells bad. There's a couple gallons in there. All right, here's the new tank. Compared to the old tank, it looks pretty much the same. Oh, this is raised up here. But I guess other than that, it looks pretty much the same. Sending unit's the same. This hole is different than this one. Look at that. Got two holes there for some reason. The filler neck looks like it's in the same spot. The tank looks like it's roughly the same size. Maybe they had a more different tank for the top, or this, or I don't know. It's a little bit different than this one, but it looks like it's physically the same size, so it should go in there. I took the harness off here because that's got to be transferred over. Like I said, I have a new sending unit, but I'm going to knock this one out and save it, just because these lines are not completely rusted away, and for whatever reason, if we need it, which I doubt we will, but it looked okay when I looked through the hole, so I don't know if this thing had almost no gas in it, I got put away or what, but aside from the tank being, scaly on the bottom, like here, this is super thin right here. That would have been a leak, or it is a leak right there. Maybe that's just moisture from rust, but this is where it would go bad, right there where the two straps are touching, and it's super pitted where the straps were, so this takes junk. there's no reason, there would have been no reason to save it, but it's definitely got a hole just about started right there. So, bam. I'm glad for modern day technology we can buy new cheap fuel tanks. This tank was 98 bucks, I think, on Rock Auto. Super cheap. All right, got a new sending unit here from Ultra Power from Rock Auto. We can put that in the tank. It comes with a new locking ring and rubber. And hopefully this will be the right one. Like I said, the existing one in the tank looked to be okay when I looked through the hole, and I'm going to take it out and save it, but it'd been in there so long with all that old gasoline and stuff, I figured it was probably a good idea to go ahead and replace it. Oh, that locking ring came with the gas tank, because here's another locking ring for here. So I was able to get the rollover vent, or the vent for the fuel vapors out, the rubber and the plastic, and I'll show you what I'm doing with that in a minute, because I have making a little modification, just because I don't have any 3/16 fuel rated hose, and you can't get to the hoses, especially the one on top of the tank when the tank's in the car. So I'll show what I'm doing with that in a minute. But we've got our sending unit here. Okay, so it sucks from way back in there, and I guess we're gonna, oh, you know what, I need the gasket first. The gasket goes in there. This one's kind of wonky. You know what? That's the one that came with the tank, but this one that came with the sending unit, the rubber's not all wonky. Let's put this one in. There we go. Oh, much better. So just go ahead and feed this guy in here. Boom. Like that. And then the rubber goes where it goes. Let's see here. That guy, I think, lines up there. Oops, I put that on upside down. All right, now, which way? All right, the new rubber is real stiff, but it's going where it's got to go. I'm just going to take a screwdriver or a thing and just drive this locking ring around, and it pushes it down on the rubber and seals it up. I'll save on this guy for future action. Here's our sending unit wire. I pulled off the original sending unit. You can see that the ground, oh, you know what? They just stabbed that. Get off there. Stab that on there, so that's a separate ground. So now we can replace the original sending unit, which has a ground strap and a round strap. We can put them on there in a second. Let me get a hammer. A little brass drift here. We can brass drift her around. And there's, I don't know what you're like call them, indexes sort of, that will snap into place. Sending units installed. Like I said, I got to wait on my grommet for here. I got an idea what I want to do for the top of the tank, and I'll show you right here. I don't want to use that piece of like felt covering because it was wet and promoting some moisture and dirt stuck to it. So I have this truck iron armor bed, like bed liner material. It doesn't have the chunks in it like Herculiner. It's like smoothish rubber, and I think I got it from Harbor Freight a couple of years ago. And I used it on something, and I didn't really like it for like what I was using it for, so I just been saving it. But I think we're going to paint the top of the tank with it here, so they have a thick rubber coating that go between here and the bottom of the car. And while this is drying, it's going to take like almost a day to dry. I'll have my rubber come in the meantime, hopefully. And then if not, we'll have to put the tank in because I think I can get the thing here. But we'll let the rubber dry, and I'll be able to clean and paint the bottom of the car and put the Herculine, or put the what am I trying to say? Put the stuff that I want to use, fluid film, on the bottom of the car. But we're going to paint the top of the tank with this rubber, and that'll give us a nice rattle, anti-squeak barrier between the tank and the bottom of the car. Basically do what that felt did without, this stuff won't hold dirt and moisture like that felt would. So I'm just going to probably scuff the top of the tank up real fast with some sandpaper, blow it off. I'm just going to paint it, just the top surface where this would go, and then probably where's the straps? So here we go. Here's my new straps here from Rock Auto. Probably paint the insides of the straps too, where they touch the tank, and give them a little bit of a rubberized coating. Or you could wrap these. I've wrapped these before in electrical tape, just so it's not steel on steel. I've used electrical tape usually where the middle, there's usually a gap, but like here on the edges where it goes, I might just wrap these in tape now that I'm thinking about it. But whatever, we'll make it happen. That way we'll do a little more protection on our tank. And then this area here I'll leave open. I'll hit this with fluid film, so there'll be fluid film around in here to keep any moisture out of there. I just basically, I think this channel here and this channel here is where it kind of indexes with the floor of the car. And now that I'm seeing, when they try to move it over one, it would hit where the sending unit goes. So I don't know how they did that. These guys move them over for the dual exhaust. We're going to put it right back in the factory location, like I said. And I looked in the floor. There is a raised section in the trunk floor to clear this vent. Like the original tank was flat, but the car's got a big raised section to clear this. I don't know why they pushed this up, and maybe they changed the tanks over the years. I don't know. The vent line was all just 3/16 fuel hose, which I don't have any, and it was in pretty decent shape. So I cut a little piece of it off, and this is plastic, and I stuck it back onto the nippled piece here. Then I took a piece of 3/16 brake line here, the copper nickel alloy brake line, and I sleeved it with 1/4-inch rubber hose just so it doesn't rattle. And this is going to push back in here into the top of the tank, and then I'm just going to have the metal line come out. And I've saved another piece of this 3/16 hose, which I'll hook back up to our new fuel line, or our new vent line that we make. So since this is on top of the tank, I didn't want to take a chance of, I had some like vacuum tubing I could have used, but I didn't know if the gasoline would make that stuff deteriorate, and I didn't want to drop the tank to fix it. So now we're going to maintain the fuel hose, a piece of copper line to get out from where I can get to it. So that'll make a permanent installation. And then this outer hose is just so it doesn't vibrate between the car and the tank. So we're going to do that, but I'll wait and put that on after I paint the top of the tank. All right, the rubber is on and it's over here drying. I doubled it up real thick where the body indentations are under the car, and that's going to take a while to dry, but the rest of it is tacking up. This is still, it is what it is. So it's going to dry overnight. It's going to be good. I put my sending unit wires on, so that's all good. And then while that was drying over here, I went under the car like I said I was going to do, and I wire wheeled it real fast, and I sprayed Eastwood rust encapsulator right here, which is satin black, but it gives a flat finish for the fluid film to bite into. So I wire wheeled it, knocked all the scale off as much as I could, and blew it up in there. I also got up in on the inside of the frame rails on both sides. So this thing will dry overnight too, and then I can fluid film this with some clear fluid film. Alright, oh, this first clamp is rusted off here. So, I'm going to think that's going to be a theme. All the clamps are going to be rusted off. This set is gone, isn't it? That one's rusted off as well. Where's my... Then I have some... man. Rusty mercy sakes. Oh boy. Man, these things are nice. Holy shamoly. Oh boy. I would like to copy the factory action here, but I got some tight bends in them. So these guys are straight up to like here, so let's just cut them. They're extremely nasty. Ouch, that hurt. There we go. Now we should be able to fish them out of the car. What a travesty. These things are shot. Look at the, oops. Look at the bends. Everything is rotted. Here's where our rubber connections are. Man, they go up in there kind of tight. The 3/16 line is right here. Yeah, I'm gonna route them how I can route them. Probably start the suction line. I'll just form the suction line back and then run it down. Somebody picked this up with a 3-point lift a couple times and bent it. And run it down and make it, because that'll be the hardest one to bend, and then just follow it with the smaller lines. The rubber hoses here on this connection point over here is where they're going to tie in. I want to replace those, but boy, I am not going to be able to get onto the upper sections of those without creating a scene. So I think we're going to go ahead and cut the rubber, and for temporary we're going to rely on the original factory rubber lines just to yard drive this thing, and then when I do the actual restoration, I will get up in there and I will replace all the rest of the steel lines. So we're just going to jam it on with these rubber lines. They're pliable enough. They should go to what we got to do. This guy is going to get cut here. Like I said, the 3/16 line doesn't really matter, but nasty. Well, look at this glorious piece of engineering here. I bent up a 5/16 fuel line. Turns out I don't have enough 3/16 or enough 1/4 inch to do the other two lines, so I got to buy some more on Scamazon. But I took here and I tried to follow it. I can't make bends as tight as a factory can, but I got it close. So this is the back of it, and then that part that's all wonky is get straight out as it runs down along the car. And I took my flaring tool, and if you push it in on operation 1 just a little bit, you get a nice little like lump on the end for the hose to grab onto. So I put one of those on each end. I just pulled out of the car to do the far end because I made this end here with the spool, and then I rolled it under the car and cut it off where I need to have it cut off. I thought I had enough 1/4 inch, like I said, over here on my spool, but I don't. I got 2 pieces of 1/4 inch, and they're not long enough to reach the whole way, so bummer there. And this is all that's left of my 5/16, and I don't have enough 3/16, so I'll order some more here tonight and then get it coming ASAP so we can finish up these lines. But let's try to fish this in the car, and then I got to go in because it's late Sunday night and I got to go to work tomorrow. Got a feeder in under the car. Okay, that goes there. This clamp goes up here. Right about here. Where are you? Come here. Okay, let's leave that loose for a second. Where's my other clamp? Slid down the action. The other clamp goes here. Can't see nothing. Get in there. Okay. This guy's got to come back here. I got to leave these loose like that. Yes, sir. Right about there. My drill it. This is awesome. All the YouTubers just use those plastic lines now, or the evil energy and all that stuff, or you can just like loop it around and run it up. I'm old school. Do it the hard line way. Do it how it was factory. Making it factory. Just use a self-tapper. You'll be all set. It's looking good here. Just come around. Oh, I see I took the wire wheel to the rocker panel here. Or the, what do you call it? The, I guess, rocker. And I did some, let's see, this is going to go back just a little bit. Back that way. There we go. So that hooks on there. That'll go in there. Yep. So I got a screw here. Let's put that one tight now because I pushed it back where it's got to go. Oh, shoot. It was tight, and now it's just snapped it off. Are you got to be kidding me? But you know what I do see? My other self-tapper that I lost. So now we can just run one in right next to that one. Because that's what you do. You can make a mistake and start over. I love it. Wow. Come on. Another pus bucket. Let's try it again. Okay. Ouch. Yeah, there. Yep. Got him. Alright. That guy's tight. Don't break it off again. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay. I can put all the lines through that. And then I'll just, if it's a little bit too big, I'll just tap it down tight. But we'll run all the lines through that. Alright, it's the next day here. The tank is dry, ready to put in the car. I went and I put the vent line on. And I've got some hose, brand new hose, with fuel injection clamps on the inlet and the return. So before we can put that in the car, we got to lay under here and spray some fluid film up and under the where I put that rust encapsulator. So I've got the fluid film gun ready to rip. And it'll stick really good to this flat black paint. Let me get some in the holes here. Roll some in here. Oh, rust. There's rust. Ah, rust blowing out. That's all right. Fluid film to the rescue. Alright, just gotta hang the straps on the back of the car here. They just go, it's like a T-slot. Let's, I guess, hang them and put them in position. And I sprayed, or I coated the bottom of the tank where the straps go. Instead of putting the rubber on here on the straps, I put it on the tank on the bottom so they'll grasp it where it goes. And I think we are ready to install the tank. So let me go get that. Not scratch the crap out of the tank, but the light is right in my eyeballs. This thing is light enough, I should be able to just pull it right up in the position, probably by hand here. Or how are we looking? Oh, we're looking fine. Come on now. Oh, careful, careful, careful. Oh. I feel like I'm fighting for my life here. Can't see nothing. All right, there we go. Come on. Well, now, if you would start, that would be awesome, but you're not going to start. Uh-oh. There we go. Just took a minute to get her started. Where's the other bolt? We're here. Almost feels like my lines, my clamps I used are pinched between the floor and the top of the tank. I gotta take a peek, but vent lines there, these guys are there. Here's the upper fuel line, which will go on this one. Okay, the lines, the rubber hose will work. Get that guy there. Here's our hook up. Hook this guy up. He can bend out, something like that. The fuel injection clamps are hitting the floor there. Can you see that? I got to spin them around. I put them on top. They're going to be on the bottom because they're going to get pinched and bend the lines. I don't want to create any issues. So let me deal with that. Then I'll just tighten the thing down. And let's also come out here and see. Yeah, we should be able to. I'm putting this in ahead of time because I don't have any of my other parts and we got to keep moving on the video. Can we? Oh yeah, if the rubber. Oh yeah, this will work. That'll work just fine. We can get this guy to get in there. However it goes. Yeah. We can land the rubber and insert this and then Oh yeah, this will work. We can land the rubber. See this here? We can get this in, no problem. Land the rubber, reinsert that where it's got to go. So that's fine there. All right, I got the tank in the car. Finally, I had to take it in and out a couple times. I ended up having a problem over here. The speed nut clip that was up in the frame was rusty and stripped, so I had to jam a bolt through a couple of big washers. But none of my bolts are threaded all the way, so I had to use a spacer. And anyways, I got it bolted up in there. It might be a chore to get it apart. I can kind of get a wrench in there to get it apart, but hopefully I won't have to take it apart again. And I started hooking up the fuel lines. I got the 5/16 line hooked up, and like I said, I don't have any 1/4 inch and 3/16 right this second, but I ordered some on Scamazon, so they're coming here in a day or two. And I plugged the wiring harness back in and sprayed it with fluid film up and top and around and stuff like that. So the 3/8 or the 5/16 main line is all secured with clamps all the way around, and the tank is up in here, good to go. Awesome. I'll just wait for my rubber should be here, I think tomorrow or the next day, to fix the tank for the sending unit, or no, the filler neck. Get that in, and then I think another day or two the rest of the lines will come in. So the fuel tank is installed and it looks good. This is like a week later. I finally had all my brake line parts and hoses come in, and I finished running the brake lines. So I'll show it to you. It was actually a whole lot of work because all the bending and stuff, but the fuel lines, I mean, I forget what I was doing. All the fuel lines are done, and my rubber came in for the filler neck here. So I got the rubber installed there from Steel Rubber Products, made in the USA, so that'll be good. It won't be eaten by the gas. And the filler neck's back installed. And let me climb under here, I'll show you. Like I said in the beginning of the video, I haven't replaced the lines in the front. It's only the lines up to here where the rubber hoses are. Oh boy, here we go under the car. Bam! So you see the 5/16 line in the middle, that's the suction line. The 1/4 inch line up top is the return line. Then they go over here, and they go up and around and bend around the frame. They're not as tight as a factory because I didn't have a way to replicate the factory lines perfectly. And you might see some zip ties. I just zip tied the 3/16 vent line. The fuel lines, the important lines, have P-clamps on both sides. I staggered them, use this same bolt, and then just staggered the clamps there. You can see that. So I got the 1/4 inch on the bottom of the 5/16 in the middle. Then I just zip tied the 3/16 vapor line to the 5/16 fuel line all the way down. It doesn't carry any fuel or nothing, so it's just there for vapor action. So zip tying, it's fine. And I ran them down here. We got P-clamps holding them down to the pinch rail, and obviously they're not perfect because this stuff's in a roll and it kind of just rolls out, but rolls all the way up down along the inner part of the rocker here, and you can see this black. I wire wheeled some of the scale and surface rust off here, and then I threw some rust encapsulator from Eastwood up on there. And this will get fluid filmed later, but just try to get a little bit of surface rust off so the lines run up there. And then finally we snake up around here, and I just cut the original hoses just to temporarily get it running. You can see the new, I had to change the hose on here for the vapor line, the 3/16 line, and then the suction hoses are the old hoses, but they are factory. They've got the original factory squeeze clamps on them here, so they'll get changed and I run all new front lines eventually. But for now, this should get us up running. I guess this is the end of the fuel line saga. I don't even know how long this video is or what happened. I lost track of it going to Carlisle and everything else, but I think I'm going to call it quits there. Next time we're going to fire this thing up. I'm going to put some fuel in the new tank. It's full of dirty oil. Dirty. I would like to get it running right in front of you guys. I just went and found a battery at the pick and pull for 50 bucks. That's only a year old, so I just dropped that in the car. And I would like to be able to fire it up and get it out of here so we can work on some other stuff. So we'll do that next time. But fuel system saga, new tank, new sending unit, new filler neck, rubber, new straps, fluid film, rubber coated, all new fuel lines up to here, and then we'll get new fuel lines under the hood when we pull the engine out. Brand new fuel system. We got new brakes on the front of the car, all new brake lines all the way to the back. this thing should start, run, and drive, hopefully, for the first time in a long time. So stay tuned for that in the next video, and we'll see you guys then, hopefully making noise. It's going to be a little loud. There's no exhaust system anymore, just from the manifold back. But we'll get this thing ripping and pulled on out of the shop. First time moving it under its own power probably in 25 or 6 years. So that should be pretty fun. We'll see you then next time at the Quick Speed Shop.